Marshmallows, I hope everyone's okay. Today I'm going to show you how to make a flipbook. Here are two I've made. This first one is with colour. And this second one took me quite a bit longer to do. There are a few ways of doing this, so let's have a look what you'll need. You'll need some plain paper, the thicker the better, but if you don't have thick paper, it's okay. Ruler, pair of scissors, pencil, black pen, colours are optional. You'll also need a light source. You could use a window, a tablet, or a phone, and I will show you how and why you could use these two. Let's get started. Now we need to turn this into these. The easiest way to do that is to divide your paper up. The first thing I would do was fold the piece of paper over in half, draw a line, fold it in half the other way, draw a line across there, and then you can take this part up, draw a line, pull this part down, draw a line, and then you've got equal sections. That's what you want, equal sections. So when you flick your book, each part is exactly the same so that they line up. Once you've done this, you can cut them up and you will end up with the pages for your flick book. 2 pages of paper will get you 16 pages for your flip book. Obviously you can cut out as many as you want to, but that just gives you a guide. The reason I said earlier about thick paper, it's just better to flick through. It's a bit more stable. This is the first light source, the window, which is the easiest, I think. We're going to be drawing the same thing over and over again and just changing a small thing, so it's much easier and more accurate to trace each time. Some of you may have seen or used the light box in the art room. This is a bit like that, but the natural way. Start off by drawing your first image. It can be in pencil and then go over it in pen. Make sure you draw more towards the right side and not the left, otherwise you won't be able to see it when you flick through. The first thing you want to do is draw your image onto the first piece of paper. You can do this in pencil first, and then you want to do it in pen so you can see through the paper. Then you're going to take the second piece of paper and line it up with the first piece. You can shuffle it somewhere on the desk first or something on a hard surface, but you want to make sure that the bottom corner lines up properly. Then you're going to see the image from underneath and trace around that very carefully, and you're going to change 1 or 2 things about the image. So on mine, I'm going to make my face go from a tiny little dot, and the face, well, the smile is going to get bigger and bigger. So you're going to take the piece of paper from underneath and put that to one side, and then take another piece and put that on top. So remember to put it on top because you're going to trace the picture from underneath. And I'm changing again one small thing. So my mouth is changing each time. So this time the mouth is going to be again a bit bigger. So each time my mouth is going to get bigger. So I'm tracing around the face, I'm going to put the eyes in, and then the mouth is just going to be a bit bigger again. So each time I do my drawing, my mouth is going to get bigger and bigger. So when you flick through your book, the mouth is going to change. So you can do this with any of your pictures. So if you're moving an arm or a leg or something's moving across the screen. You can see my mouth is changing each time I do a new drawing. It's only changing a small step, a small amount each time. If I was to change it massively, it would look silly when I flick through the flipbook. I'd go from a small mouth to a big mouth. There would be such a big leap that you wouldn't get that effect of the movement. So each time you change something in your drawing, you want it to be by a small step, and that way you'll get the movement. So now my mouth is massive, and I'm going to come back down again. So again, in small steps, I'm going to make my mouth get smaller. Now it's quite a good idea to put numbers on your pages somewhere, so that if you accidentally drop them, you have them in order and you can put them back together again. You can put as much detail in this as you want to. These are quite simple drawings. The one I did of Wee Bare Bears took me quite some time, because there's quite a lot of detail in there. But if you have a look, some people have put a lot of time and effort into theirs, coloured them in. Let's have a look and see what it looks like when it's finished. For the second light source, you can use a tablet or mobile phone. Remember to get permission to use it if you don't own one. You need a really bright background, so something white. I usually use a blank page and turn the brightness right up. Then in the dark you can use it like a light box and do the same thing I showed you for the window, changing one thing each time. Now that the waving man is finished and all the pieces are lined up in the corner here, I've put some bulldog clips on, but you don't have to, I just happen to have some. You're going to hold it over on this side and then you're going to flick on this side here, and let's see if it works. There we go, and he's waving. You'll notice that I've put some extra blank pages on the back here. So I find when I flick through, it normally gets stuck at the back page and you don't end up seeing the back page. So my top tip is to put a few blank pages at the back, and then you'll definitely get to see the back page. And now our flipbook's finished, all the pages are done and they've been put together to make sure they all line up nicely in the corner. I've put a few clips on here, but remember, if you don't have them, that doesn't matter. We're going to hold it nice and firmly on this side and flip from here. So let's have a look and see if it's worked. Yep, there you go, you can see his mouth opening and closing, and then a little smile. I think that was a success. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Remember, the smaller you make your changes, the better the movements and the more effective your flipbooks will be. Keep sharing your work with us. Stay safe and see you for the next tutorial. Bye!